98-year-old. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to the Relentless channel. Today we're going to delve into a recent event that has sparked significant controversy and discussion. We're talking about the recognition of a 98-year-old veteran named Yaroslav Hunka in the Canadian House of Commons. During a session in which President Volodymyr Zalenskyy of Ukraine addressed the lawmakers, the Speaker of the House of Commons, as a veteran from the Second World War who fought for Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support troops today, even at his age of 98. The Assembly then rose to applaud Hunka. However, this recognition has sparked controversy due to Hunka's service in the SS Galicia, a unit associated with the Nazi Party and implicated in war crimes. SS Galicia was a Ukrainian unit in the Waffen-SS, the combat branch of the SS wing of the Nazi Party. The unit was heavily involved in the commission of war crimes, including the Holocaust. Of deep personal note, this unit was implicated in war crimes such as the 1944 Huta Palenchika massacre, when its fighters burned 500 to 1,000 Polish villagers alive. In February 1944, units of the SS Division Galicia destroyed a number of settlements, and part of the civilian population was murdered. The division also participated in the pacification of villages. Witsin, Pavloraka, Malinsky, Chernetska, Valenskitsa, Poliska, Kamalaka, Stromanlova, Budki, Nezeronsky, Pavlovo, and Chatki. My grandfather, Richard Kosłowski, served in the Polish army and fought against the Nazi invasion in 1939, eventually becoming a POW. At the end of the war, he became a displaced person and was informed his entire family in Poland had been killed. Was it this unit? It sickens me that to the core that in the Parliament of Canada, the country that took him in after the Second World War, recognized someone who might have pulled the trigger. Several Jewish advocacy organizations condemn members of Parliament for giving a standing ovation to Hunka. Friends of the Simon Weinstein Center issued a statement saying it's deeply disturbing that Hunka was invited and says an apology is owed. The fact that a veteran who served in a Nazi military unit was invited to and given a standing ovation in Parliament is shocking. At the time of rising anti-Semitism and Holocaust distortion, it is incredibly disturbing to see Canada's Parliament rise to applaud an individual who was a member of a unit in the Waffen-SS, a Nazi military branch responsible for the murdering of Jews and others, and was declared a criminal organization during the Nuremberg trials. There should be no confusion that this unit was responsible for mass murder of innocent civilians with a level of brutality and malice. An apology is owed to every Holocaust survivor and veteran of the Second World War who fought the Nazis, and an explanation must be provided as to how this individual entered the hallowed halls of Canadian Parliament and received recognition from the Speaker of the House in a standing ovation. Now, in 1986, the Canadian Deschennes Commission, which was the Canadian Commission of Inquiry on War Crimes, by the Honorable Justice Jules Deschennes, concluded that in relation to the membership in the Galicia Division, the Galicia Division, 14 Waffen Grenadier Division de SS, should not be indicted as a group. The members of the Galicia Division were individually screened for security purposes before admissions to Canada. Charges of war crimes of the Galicia Division has never been substantiated, either in 1950 when they were first preferred, or in 1984 when they were renewed, or before this commission. Further, enacted the principle, rejected such a principle. Now, so basically, Mr. Hunka emigrated to Canada after the Second World War, and based on the Deschamps Commission's report, he would have been checked against evidence of war crimes and has obviously been exonerated from them. And while difficult to believe that such things wouldn't be known to him as a member of the unit, this incident underscores the importance of understanding historical context when honoring individuals. As we wrap up this video, I encourage you to learn more about the topic and form your own opinions based on the facts. Remember, history is complex and multifaceted. It is important that we remember and learn from it so that such events are not repeated. Personally, I wish that it hadn't happened. While I support our country of Canada in its efforts to help Ukraine defend against an aggressor who's invading their territory, I do find it difficult to reconcile that with the fact that someone thought that it would be wise to honor a veteran of the Waffen SS on the same day. You know, there's two things in this situation. You have on one side and what I consider to be a just action of welcoming President Zalenskyy into Canada, allowing him to speak to the House of Commons, allowing and supporting Ukraine, you know, while they're being invaded by an aggressive totalitarian regime like Russia under Putin. On the other hand, honoring someone whose murky past and links to an organization that was considered a criminal organization during the Nuremberg trials, and glossing over that history and just calling him a veteran of the Second World War who fought for Ukraine's independence from Russia, sort of hides a lot of facts in this particular case. And as I stated, my personal feelings on the situation as where this unit may have been directly involved in, you know, slaughtering or harming Polish citizens who may very well be my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, my great-aunts or great-uncles. Like, my family has lost so much history when it comes to where we came from in Poland. There, you know, we know that my grandfather served in the Polish army. We know that my grandfather was eventually captured and put into a German POW camp, and that he'd spent the rest of the war outside of Poland as a non-combatant. We also know at the end of the war, when he was trying to go home, he was told that his family, who resided outside of Warsaw, was no longer alive, and there was nothing for him to return home to. The blessing for me personally was that people in Canada took it upon themselves to sponsor him to come to Canada as an immigrant after the Second World War. And he met my grandmother in Wilno. And together they started a family where my mother is his youngest daughter. And, so I proudly claim half the Polish heritage that I do not have much knowledge about because of the war and what has happened. So this honoring of this 98-year-old veteran of the Waffen SS in Parliament just gutted me when I found out what the context of this story was. Streamlabs.com/Jaralaxle1